A perfect NFL quarterback is not possible unless you find ways to combine all the mental and physical traits and put them into one.
Building the perfect quarterback. All right, I like this. So what does this thing look like with all of the sliders maxed up to 100?
Hey, who knows how much science and technology will enhance over the next few decades. But we present to you what the perfect NFL quarterback would look like using the skills and traits of the league's very best. At Envision, Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes has cemented himself as the best player in football right now. Since taking over as the starting quarterback in 2018, Casey has played in 6 AFC championships and 4 Super Bowls, winning 3 Lombardi trophies over the last 5 years. The 2-time league MVP is as close to a perfect NFL quarterback as you'll get. But it's Mahomes' head and vision that especially separates him from every other quarterback. Only 4 quarterbacks have a lower career pass interception percentage than Mahomes at 1.8. That's especially impressive when you consider the amount of Mahomes throws and the quality of low percentage throws that he attempts. Like Tom Brady, Mahomes is deadly because of his ability to read opposing defenses. He always knows what's coming, and he excels in distributing the football before the pocket collapses. Mahomes rarely turns it over because of his football smarts. He sees the field perfectly, and it's why teams have to pick their poison when defending against him. Throw 2 deep coverage at him, and Mahomes will dice you up with short passes. And not to be Captain Obvious, but, well, just watch his history of carving up opposing defenses when the stakes are at their highest. The Chiefs won Super Bowl 58 with a lackluster receiving core because Mahomes knew where to go with the football and which weaknesses to exploit, not because his receivers were getting separation. Dare him to beat you deep, and he'll do it more often than not. What makes Mahomes scary is that his football IQ is on the level of all-time greats like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. But both of those legends had a fraction of the mobility and overall athleticism that Mahomes displays. Accuracy, Aaron Rodgers. Few regard Rodgers as the GOAT, but there really is a case to be made that he is the most all-around talented and decorated quarterback in NFL history. Rodgers has no weaknesses in his physical game, but his accuracy is what sets A-Rod apart from most every other quarterback out there. Take a look at the active career completion percentage leaders, and you'll see several surprise names ahead of the 4-time league MVP. But of course, Rodgers has played way more games than the rest of those guys, so their percentage will naturally dip over time. Don't tell us that you'd take Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa, or Jimmy Garoppolo over Rodgers. By the way, the future Hall of Famer has the league's lowest pass interception percentage at 1.4. And then you have Rodgers' 3 career Hail Marys and that unforgettable pass to Jared Cook that set up the Green Bay Packers game-winning field goal against the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC divisional round. Rodgers has out-of-this-world accuracy. He just knows how to place the ball in his receiver's hands, even when the window is the size of a ping pong ball. Seriously, what more can we really say here? Few sights are more beautiful in football than watching Rodgers drop picture-perfect passes with a simple flick of a wrist. Arm, Josh Allen. Today's quarterbacks must be mobile and athletic and have a deep arm to shine in the NFL. For years, Joe Flacco and Russell Wilson had the reputations of having the best deep ball in football. Flacco, of course, was never an elite quarterback, and Wilson, well, he was more of the good at everything, great at nothing kind of guy. But the Buffalo Bills superstar is a true freak of nature with his dual-threat style of play and his arm. Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert garnered consideration here, but Allen's arm would be the slight difference maker in making the perfect NFL quarterback. According to Next Gen Stats, Allen was the best deep ball thrower of 2021. Deep ball is defined as a pass with 20-plus air yards. Allen completed 28 of 68 attempts that year for 954, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a ridiculous passer rating of 100.7. Allen was 10th in 2022 in deep ball throws with an astounding 1,028 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 5 picks, and a 98.2 passer rating. And only 6 quarterbacks had more pass completions of 40-plus yards in 2023 than Allen. Believe us, guys ahead of him like Gardner Minshew, Baker Mayfield, and Tua Tagovailoa do not have better arms than Allen. Leg speed and mobility, Lamar Jackson. Alright, allow us to put these 3 categories all into one, and I don't think this should be up for debate. The 2-time league MVP is the only quarterback in NFL history with 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons. The 1,206 yards he rushed for in the 2019 season remain a single-season record for a QB. Jackson is also dynamic as a passer because his speed and mobility allow him to extend plays. So that's why the perfect NFL quarterback would have Jackson's legs because, well, he's just a consistent 1,000-yard rushing threat as a freaking QB. And his ability to dance around defenders and extend passing plays just make Jackson borderline unstoppable when he is on his game. Scrambling and elusiveness, Jalen Hurts. Hurts may not quite be as fast as Lamar Jackson. His rushing yard totals will hardly rival Jackson's too. But when it comes to getting away from trouble and dancing around defenders to avoid negative yardage plays, man, give us Hurts over anybody else. Don't let the Eagles' second half collapse in 2023 fool you. Hurts was playing lights-out football for a month and a half, and it was thanks to his explosive dual-threat game. As documented by Nate Tice of Yahoo Sports, Hurts had a forced missed tackle or broken tackle rate of 21.9% during the 2022 season on designed runs and scrambling plays, excluding QB sneaks and kneel downs. The former Alabama and Oklahoma quarterback took this Philly offense to another level in 2022 when he improved as a pocket passer. The arrival of A.J. Brown certainly helped there, but it also opened up the Eagles' offensive playbook, which allowed Hurts to flash his skills as a crafty runner. At 6'1" and just over 220 pounds, Hurts doesn't have the size and build of guys like Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, or Jared Goff. But he makes up for it with his natural quickness and ability to evade would-be tackles when trouble begins to close in. Size, toughness, and physicality. Josh Allen. Going back to the Bills star quarterback here, Cam Newton was also a good passer, but his size, physicality, and ability to run over would-be tacklers made him an elite quarterback for almost a full decade. Well, Josh Allen is similar to Newton in terms of size and toughness. The main difference is that Allen is a more gifted passer, while Newton was more potent as a runner. At 6'5" and 237 pounds, Allen has the ideal combination of size and toughness to get it done with both his arm and legs. He has thrown for over 4,000 yards and at least 29 touchdowns every year since 2020. As a runner, Allen has surpassed 500 yards rushing all but 1 year since his 2018 rookie campaign. He has racked up 53 rushing scores over that period, second most only to Derrick Henry. 5.5 yards per carry is not half bad for a quarterback like Allen either. So yeah, give us his size, toughness, and physicality to build the perfect NFL QB. Poise, Joe Burrow. There's just something about Joe Burrow that tells us he'd be an A-lister in Hollywood if he were to pursue an acting career after football. Make no mistake, guys like Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson love the media attention and spotlight. Guys like Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Justin Herbert are on the quieter end, but still fulfill their media and public obligations. Both on and off the field, Burrow just presents himself with confidence, not cockiness, and swagger. Is it the slick hair, the outfits, the Joe Cool nickname? Either way, he is unquestionably the gold standard for poise among NFL QBs. I mean, just think about this. Former first overall pick to a terrible Bengals franchise has his rookie year cut short by a gruesome ACL and MCL tear. Came back in year 2 and led the Bengals all the way to a Super Bowl 56 appearance, despite playing behind a horrible offensive line that allowed him to take 70 sacks, including in the playoffs. In 2022, Burrow rallied the Bengals from a 0-2 start to finish 12-4. They went on to reach the AFC title game again, narrowly losing a heartbreaker to the Chiefs on a last-second field goal. Most teams are naturally scared going up against Mahomes. Burrow is 3-1 against the league's best player, with all of those games ending in a single score. Because again, nothing scares Burrow. Even when he's playing behind a terrible offensive line, and even when his opponents look better on paper, Joe Cool just comes in and does his thing. No expressions, little body language. He acts like a programmed robot and does business calmly and collectively. Clutchness and leadership, Patrick Mahomes. We decided to group these two categories into one since they just go hand in hand. And since number 15 in Kansas City occupies both of them anyway. Please don't try to convince us that somebody is more deserving in this spot. Only Tom Brady and maybe Joe Montana can be put ahead of Mahomes on the all-time clutch QB depth chart. Though Mahomes could be number 1 when all is said and done. Mahomes is a ridiculous 17-14 in his career, including postseason games when his Chiefs are trailing by 10 or more points. Think about that for a second. Your team is more likely to lose rather than win if it is up on the league's best player by double-digit points. And yes, Mahomes trailed by 10 points in each of his first 3 Super Bowl wins. Mahomes has 6 game-winning drives and 5 fourth-quarter comeback wins in 18 playoff games. That includes 3 Super Bowl game-winning drives, by the way, against elite San Francisco 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles defenses. Remember when Mahomes was playing on a bad ankle in Super Bowl 57 against the Eagles, a defense that racked up 70 sacks in the regular season? Yeah, Mahomes wasn't sacked once in that game. Mahomes has 3 playoff losses in his career. The first game against the New England Patriots in the 2018 AFC title game because Mahomes didn't see the football. That was before the NFL changed its dumb overtime rules. The second playoff loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 55 was because Mahomes ran for his life all game long because, well, his offensive line was basically made of duct tape. The third loss was the 2021 AFC title game. Mahomes didn't play his best, but 275 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in an overtime loss to Joe Burrow's Cincinnati Bengals isn't exactly an embarrassing way to see your season end. You can't be a leader without being clutch and vice versa. When Mahomes' team is down and in trouble, he just always finds a way to carry them on his back and delivers when it matters most, far more often than not. Aaron Rodgers isn't critical and publicly expressing frustration with his teammates. Tom Brady did it a lot too, and Ben Roethlisberger largely fractured his relationship with Antonio Brown because of his big mouth to the public. Regardless of how you feel about open and public criticism, it isn't for everyone, and it's rarely a good look on the QB when he's pointing the finger at his teammates and not himself. Mahomes doesn't do that though. He didn't at all blame his O-line for the Super Bowl 55 loss to Tampa. He stood by Kadarius Toney and Marquez Valdes-Scantling during the 2023 season even when they were committing costly, boneheaded mistakes. Mahomes leads by example. He has a great energy and passion, but he naturally sets the tone with his calmness and clutch genes. And that is the kind of guy that you want in your huddle every day of the week. But hey, what changes would you make to our project of building the perfect NFL quarterback? Do you agree with all of our parts? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.